It was unimaginable when I grew up, but chances are that India may actually become a developed country by 2047. That's what the Prime Minister also focused on in his Independence Day speech. There's strong data to suggest that we are on target to meet that goal, but going forward will mean having to take the right choices. And if we don't take the right choices, we will not get there. But beyond the political rhetoric, let's examine the data to back the goal that India will be a developed nation by 2047. That's what this program is all about. We'll be looking at some of this data with the new SBI report and its author. Thanks very much, Mr. Ghosh, for being with us. Let's just go through some of the data points that you did raise. Annual per capita income to go up 7 times from 2 lakhs now to 14.9 lakhs in the financial year 2047. But my question is this, with a standard rate of inflation of, let's say, 5%, what would the actual gain be? Wouldn't there be a real concern that the value of the rupee, as we look at it from today's perspective, will not be the same in 2047?
No, I think, Vishnu, that's a fair question what you asked in terms of inflation, because all these numbers are current prices. But let me give you some mathematics, some simple assumptions behind the numbers. All these numbers are actually based on current growth rate and current inflation. So what we are doing is that till 2047, we are assuming that the nominal GDP growth rate is around 11%. And if you look into India's growth in dollar terms, that has been generally for the last 2 decades at around 8.5 to 9%. So if the rupee, if you take the depreciation of the rupee at 2%, which actually could reverse, given the fact that as India starts gaining in terms of in much as a developed economy, the rupee could start appreciating given the efforts in international the rupee. But taking it otherwise, as of now, at 11% nominal GDP growth rate with a 6.5% GDP growth and 4 to 4.5% inflation numbers, the total per capita income could actually rise to 15 lakhs as per our estimates. And one point to note over here is that if you look into the current per capita income of India in current prices, which is around 1.91 lakhs,
yes,
and if you look into the overall threshold income of the income tax, which we are estimated at 13.3 lakhs, so there is a 6 times gap. So as India marches towards a developed economy, this gap between these income taxpayers, which we call the middle income class, and the per capita income will also narrow. So therefore, in 2047, this gap, which is now 6 times, could actually, based on our internal estimates, could half to around 3 times. So that makes this number 15 lakhs, while the tax number is actually around 50 lakhs. So basically, it's a very conservative assumption, but it's at current prices.
Okay. A lot of the gains that India stands to make by 2047, when we aspire to be a developed nation, has to do with more people filing tax returns. That's set to go up to 4%. So how much of this overall estimate of yours is based on fresh receipts coming in from taxpayers who've traditionally been very low in this country?
See, I think if you look into I think there's a tax data, if you look into it very carefully, we always talk about that the only 5% of the Indian population pays taxes, but I'll give you a very simple estimates. The overall labor force data as per the World Bank is around 530 million. Now, if you look into the eShram portal, which is basically a portal where unorganized laborers are actually registered, that is around 300 million as of today. So if I deduct the 300 million from 530 million, total number of formalized labor force should come around 230 million. And this year, by March 31, as per the income tax data, 68 million has filed returns. And if I take the late returns with fine till March 31st, 2024, as per the part trends, this number could top 85 million to 90 million. Right. Around 20 million could more file taxes. So this 85 to 90 million as a percentage of 230 million is 37% of the formal labor force. So every 1% in a formal labor force is now paying taxes. So, and the total number of taxpayers have actually tripled from in the last 10 years, from 30 million to 90. If I take 90 million.
There's another very interesting point as well. the workforce with a taxable base will increase by 80%, from 59% of the workforce now to 78% of the workforce. So in other words, the overall money coming into people, what they earn, will grow up. This is a sign, and it's linked, and you make that link as well, of IT filers leaving a lower income strata. So India is getting richer, is the point that you're mentioning.
That's a fact, because 13 point, and this is exactly the data which is there on the income tax website, 13.6% of the tax filers have moved from zero tax liability to the upper income tax bracket, which could be anything beyond 5 lakhs and so in the last 10 years. And we are very conservatively assuming that this number could actually swell to 25 lakhs. And if we take the weighted mean income of all income tax filers, this 6.8 crores, that number, which was 4.4 lakhs 10 years back, today this number is at 13 lakhs. So an average middle income person in India today is earning around 1 lakh a month. So in 2047, we are assuming that this number could actually jump to around 4 lakhs per month, which is basically 47 or 48 lakhs. So the numbers which are built into this model are conservative, and that is based on the current trends, with a 6.5% growth rate, 4.5% inflation. But
how would we compare in 2047 with other countries which are also doing well? I ask this because if our goal is to be a developed nation, what is the number or the statistic or the per capita income that we are chasing?
I think there is various definitions of an developed economy. I think currently the number which is quoted for being in the per capita in the developed economy is around this level. I think $12,500 or $13,000 if I assume it correctly. But the point which you are raising is that in the future this number could actually go up. The only point which I would like to make, Vishnu, over here is that I think we are assuming some type of a linear depreciation of the rupee for the next 25 years, which is unlikely to be the case, because as the economy strengthens, as the economy grows in size, the rupee could actually also start appreciating. So the value of the rupee, which you are assuming that it could be at 115 to 120 by the year 2047, could be very well lower than that. And every 1% appreciation in the rupee value will actually add to a higher per capita income also in dollar terms. Therefore, from that point of view, I think it is possible that India could attain that developed economy tag earlier than what is getting projected if we get our numbers and maths correct. Because
so before 2047, that is interesting if that prediction does become clear. Thanks very much, Mr. Ghosh. Fascinating report.